amplify, inspire, act. This is Detroit 2020.
Living in Midtown Detroit may have just become more attractive for a whole lot of people. The neighborhood's three largest employers, the Detroit Medical Center, Henry Ford Health Systems, and Wayne State University, have announced a Live Midtown incentive program for employees.
Now, this is pretty cool. We're going to explain all this for you in a second. Employees are going to get money for moving into the area, and those already there can get financial help to spruce up the outside of their homes. Midtown is one of the city's most vital neighborhoods. With shops, restaurants, and cultural institutions, its future is bright. But only if there are residents to take advantage of those offerings.
Most of the older urban American cities have transformed themselves with healthcare playing a major role and education playing a major role.
And that's exactly what's happening here. 30,000 people work at Wayne State, the DMC, and Henry Ford. Most of them commute to work every day.
We want to get 15,000 new professionals living in Midtown by 2015.
And these incentives could go a long way toward reaching that goal. New renters will be eligible for a $2,500 allowance in the first year, followed by another $1,000 the second year. Existing renters who renew their lease could get $1,000. An employee who purchases a home could receive a $20,000 forgivable loan toward the cost of their primary residence if they take the money all at once. If they spread it over 5 years, they could receive $5,000 per year for a total of $25,000. And there's even money for exterior home improvements, up to $5,000 in matching funds. None of this would matter without an inventory of desirable housing. And the variety of housing options is one of Midtown's strengths.
We have historic homes, we have lofts, we have townhomes, we have mid-rise, new construction, and rehabs. So it's a variety of housing types available within the neighborhood.
Willie's Overland Lofts is an example of the sleek new urban housing options available in Midtown. More than 70 units are being created in the shell of a former showroom and garage. The building dates back to 1917, but everything inside, 21st century. It's the kind of place that could appeal to an educator, student, or medical professional.
A little extra financial push could really be a help. Extra down payment assistance can provide that extra incentive, that extra oomph.
And while cash may be a main incentive, the three anchor institutions are offering more than money.
We're really going to try and make it very worth their while to live in this area.
The University Cultural Center Association will be administering this Live Midtown program.
Yes, it starts today, and we're joined now by Susan Mosey, who is the president of the UCCA. So thank you so much for coming in tonight. Great.
So how much available housing is there in Midtown? I guess this is how you know kind of how much money you might be on the hook for.
Well, there's probably 100 units of housing that have recently been constructed on the for sale side over the last few years that are currently available and on the market. And our rental rate is fairly strong, but it's at about 92% in the neighborhood. But we'd love to bring that rental rate up to about 98%. And we're also building and constructing and rehabbing lots of new rental housing.
And we're talking about a lot of money. I mean, $1,000 for people who are already renting, $2,500 for new renters, and then even $20,000 to $25,000 if people want to buy in Midtown.
Correct.
So, and this is for people who work at these three places, even if they just started now.
Right. These are for full-time benefited employees at Wayne State and the Detroit Medical Center, and for even a broader array of employees at Henry Ford Hospital, which would include some part-time contingent and full-time employees.
Would you see expanding this perhaps to anybody who just wants to live to Midtown? I mean,
we would love to be able to do that, but this particular initiative is part of a broader anchor initiative strategy, and is being funded in part by the anchors. So that is why they employ about 30,000 people. And we would love to have more of them living and walking to work in the neighborhood.
Now, you said you started getting phone calls today already because this program launched. How many people are we talking about?
Well, we're already talking to probably 30 folks about the potential of moving into the neighborhood.
I had somebody ask me on Twitter just a minute ago, said, is this something you can see expanding to other parts of Detroit?
I think it would be a great program to expand into the downtown area. And I think there's Corktown, which would be a wonderful neighborhood as well. So there's definitely potential, if this is successful, to expand it.
Now, who came up with this idea? It's such a great idea to get people to move back into the city.
Well, again, it's part of this larger anchor strategy that the local foundations and the anchor institutions have been working on. And there's similar programs that have been run in Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and other urban centers around these clusters of medical and university campuses.
So as a last word, how important is it to get people living down in this area, Midtown, where they work?
Well, I think it's tremendously important because it will help the small businesses, many of whom have just recently moved into the area and many more coming, to have a more 24-hour residential base for their business, which I think is critical. And it will help ensure the success of many of these wonderful historic rehabs that are underway in the neighborhood and a lot of the new construction as well. So it's a very important program, and we're really excited about the opportunity.
Yeah, and should add to diversity in the city. So Susan Mosey, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
You are the